Hello, this is Barry Copeless, aka Barry Hollywood, and I'm just announcing that in about less than 2 months, I'm going to be launching my second podcast show as I'm inspired by what's happening in the world of the film industry, and it's going to be called Live to Set with Barry Hollywood. And it's going to be a show that's going to be unlike any show you've ever seen because I want to bring education, information, and entertainment to a podcast show of about 30 minutes long. And what I've going to be lined up to cover on the show is I'm going to have interviews with people like producers, directors, actors, background people, voiceover people, stuntmen, special effects people, and even authors of film books. I'm also going to be having casting calls. Anything that's going on in the film industry, event-wise, I'll be announcing. Now, these days with the COVID pandemic lockdown, there's not too many events going live at different locations in the city. They're going virtual events. So anytime I hear about an event that the public might be interested to either attend online or once we get over this COVID pandemic in person, I'll be announcing this on my podcast show, Live to Set with Barry Hollywood. I'm also going to be having lots of resource information that maybe I pick up because I've been in the film industry over 10, 15 years. I've worked on both sets as a crew person, production assistant in location department, and I've been in over 30 films, TV series, etc. in various roles as background. So I'm going to be bringing all this to a podcast show, and I'm not sure how often it will be produced, but right now I've got about 12 people or so interested to be on the show or support the show in some format. So stay tuned for this show coming to your computer, and I'll be doing lots of social media videos. I'm actually on all the social media platforms too. You can find me on TikTok, where several months ago I decided to make a series of mime videos. This is because you have to mime when you're as a background on set. There's no dialogue or no talking. It's complete silence. I made about 20 different videos of me dressed up in different outfits to show people what miming is. And I got some interest in people liked my mime videos, about 500 people for one video, and then maybe 200 or 300 for all the other videos that I did. I'm also on Instagram, so I also post little video clips on Instagram. I'm not as active on Instagram as I am on Facebook. I am also on LinkedIn. So I'll be announcing my podcast show, which I've already been doing to give pre-promotion about my podcast show on LinkedIn. You can find me under my name, Barry Copeless, on LinkedIn. I'm also on Pinterest. I'm also on Twitter. I recently just saw that Drew Barrymore, I'm a big fan of hers from the ET days, launched a talk show, so I kind of tweeted some things to her. So maybe I'll tweet about my podcast show. Maybe I could have her on as a guest. You never know. And I also have access to a 60,000 listing directory, which I'm going to be utilizing to invite special guests. Like I'm a big fan of Clint Eastwood and Matt Damon and Ron Howard and Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. So I might be able to connect to these people to invite them on my podcast show at some point in time. We'll see what happens. But if you want to contact me, if you work in the film industry and you'd like to be a guest on my show, or you know somebody that would be a great guest, contact me at livetoset@shaw.ca. That's my email address for the show. So anytime I'll get an email, you can leave it a message there and I'll reply back to you. And this show, just in closing, is not just for the Winnipeg area. It's going to be for the world. I'm also going to cover nonprofit organizations that support the film industry. I'm going to cover film festivals and schools that would teach acting. So it's going to be an all-encompassing show. So stay tuned for Live to Set with Barry Hollywood, coming to a streaming platform near you on the podcast platform. Thank you. Goodbye.